contains adult language and is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Loomis Recap. My name's Amy.
And I'm Shabnam.
We haven't recorded together in a while.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Hi, I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead. Were you going to say something about
this? I was
this fucking guy.
It's so crazy. Like, and it took you on a roller coaster because at first I was like, do I feel sympathetic towards him? And then I'm like, what is happening?
You know? Okay. I agree with you 100%. I watched this and I was like, I believe in their love. Yeah. And I really liked him. Then I did a little on the Googs and wow.
Yeah.
No, this guy's a fucking scam artist. I'm just going to come right out and say it.
Yeah. I didn't even I did some Google digging, but even just from the like second half itself, I was like, I'm not,
medallions,
I'm not liking this.
The COVID medallions he was selling for $250.
Exactly. And I don't know, like, I'll give you a little more as we get into it on sort of my thoughts, but I'm like, I come from a different culture than my husband. He comes from a different culture than me, but you try to be like a little, not go in like a wrecking ball if you can.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we're talking about Royal Rebels. It was on Netflix this year, 2025. It just dropped, right? Like maybe a month ago or so.
Yeah. I think a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I think what's important information to have up front that I learned about halfway through was that these guys sold the rights to their wedding exclusively to Netflix. So this was not an objective documentary. No, documentary. I said that wrong. I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. This was not objective. This was a Netflix ordained situation. This was trying to get ahead of a story. This was trying to control the narrative. It was a puff piece, if you will.
And still, I didn't think he came off that great. Like, I still think he came off badly. If they were trying to do a puff piece, I didn't get it. So
yeah. So the gentleman in question is Durek. What is his name? Shaman Durek.
Yeah,
and
Durek, I think
he is now married, but it is the love story of him and the Princess of Norway. I think they say Märtha throughout, but it's Märtha, spelled Märtha. I loved her.
Yeah, she was great.
I thought she was great. And then I'm like, okay, but she's a little scammy as well.
Yeah, at the very least, I'd say eccentric, but I'll you can tell me more about your thoughts on that too. Yeah.
So Shaman Durek tells us that he really thought he was going to end up with a man. But she, Märtha, fell in love with him, and that was it. And he says he is a soul sexual. He falls in love with people's souls. Now, I want to say it was refreshing to have this kind of conversation about sexuality as a spectrum and to be like, yeah, I am bisexual or pan. I think it's more of a pansexual discussion.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just fall in love with the person. I don't care what the container is. I'm like, this is refreshing to have that kind of conversation.
Sure. And I appreciated that. But then as we go along, I'm like, well, was it her soul or her title and her other things?
So Märtha says, he told me when I met him that we were destined to meet way before we were born. And she rolled her eyes at this, admittingly. And she says, but I did so internally, of course, because I'm a very polite princess. Oh. You know what this documentary made me want to do? Move to fucking Norway.
Yeah.
I was like really here for the Norwegian people and the Norway parts of this.
Yeah. They were cool. And I like their takes and they're kind of
chill.
Very chill. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. The royal family is chill. The people are real hung up on like politeness and stuff like that, which is fine.
Yeah. And I almost feel like it was more the people, like the aristocratic people, when they were interviewing people on the street, they seemed chill as well. But it's kind of like the people surrounding the royals are different.
Yeah. So he is the first person of color marrying into this royal family. And he says, it's really bad. The press doesn't like me. They've painted me as a scam artist, which was probably pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
And he says they act like I'm coming to steal their princess by black magic because they don't want a shaman who's black and bisexual marrying their princess. And do I
Mm-hmm.
feel that I can change history and change hearts? Well, that's up to the people.
Mm.
Okay. So at first I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you have
Yeah,
me
exactly.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
You're bisexual, you're a person of color, you're marrying into a very white culture. This could be interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Turns out that's not why they don't like him.
That's not the whole story. Yeah.
So we start in Oslo, Norway, and Märtha says growing up a princess was intense.
Uh-huh.
She says, I first realized that I was a princess when I was little because when we were home, it was very relaxed. I could be in my PJs, running around, beating the shit out of my siblings, whatever. But when we were out, it was all a show. And I had to do everything perfectly. There was a way to sit, a way to walk, a way to
Mm-hmm.
dress. And so she's like, I started to connect that I was different than other
Yeah.
people. And she says, Shabnam, that she is an HSP, a highly sensitive person. And I
Mm-hmm.
do believe there are people who are HSP.
Yeah. And empaths. I believe there are
Yeah.
people that are empaths. I just
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people say that those things about themselves and it's not necessarily true. Like
Yeah.
oftentimes people that
Yes.
say it, it's not true about
Yes.
them.
That's
So
true.
I don't know. Yeah.
She even gave a TED talk on this in Amsterdam about
Mm-hmm.
being an HSP. Then she says, quote, I went to an education to develop my psychic abilities and healing powers, and then started traveling around the country speaking my truth.
Mm.
So did she go to med school, or are we talking different kind of healing powers?
I'm thinking different kind of healing powers. And this is what I meant by eccentric, right? Like this alone, without trying to maybe take well, she is going around, she is making money off of this, but this is like I'm still at this point not quite convinced she's scammy. But I'm sure we'll get there when we get there.
Here's how I feel about this type of stuff. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a cynic and I'm kind of a Gen X asshole about these things.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you want to do essential oils and astrology and all that shit, that is not hurting anyone. That is something you do for yourself. I am absolutely fine with that. I love a good chart reading. I love a good palm reading. I'm all into that stuff. It's when you start to exploit the pain of other people that it becomes a real problem for me. That's the problem I have with mediums. I feel like
Right.
I've seen mediums where they talk to parents who've lost a child or a child is missing, and I'm like, this is not, I'm not comfortable with it. And you know what? Maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe there's something greater that is true and I just don't know it. But to me, that feels
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I think like people have a right to and should spend their money and time on things that make them feel good and better, whether that's therapy or spiritual stuff or whatever that is. It's just kind of when it, like you said, becomes exploitative. And I think the emotional part of it, but also like it's a fine line, like how much money and like is she only targeting certain groups and things like that, which is why I still feel like at this point I'm just more like she's kind of eccentric. Like I'm not quite at the
Well, and what does traveling around and using those gifts mean? Like if she's traveling around and being like, I can heal you, that's a problem. And charging people for that, that's a problem.
Yeah, but then it says speaking my truth. So I'm
The
wondering if she
speaking
was
is fine. Yeah. Maybe she's just going around lecturing, talking about what it means to be a highly sensitive person. That is all fine. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So in 2018, she's introduced to Shaman Durek. And in LA, we see him now. And he's got like a baller house in LA.
Yeah.
This guy's got money.
Yeah. And you see him with these celebrities. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know he's going to be with Gwyneth Paltrow. I was like, when is she coming in?
Yeah. But you're like, okay, he's clearly figured out how to market himself to people with a lot of disposable income.
Yep. He's the shaman to the stars. He has like infiltrated the Hollywood sphere around this stuff. So he says being a shaman means you have to have a strong relationship with the spirit world. And he says, I am tapped in all the time.
Yeah.
And we see him screaming and throwing things and like laying hands on people to try to transform them. I don't know what's happening. Then he wrote a book called Spirit Hacking. And he started really on Instagram. And after he wrote that book, it started to go mainstream. And this is where we see him with the usual suspects, Gwyneth and James Vanderbeek. Which I don't know why, but he's always hanging out with Dawson.
Yeah.
Is that Dawson?
Yeah. Dawson. Yeah.
He's a shaman to the people. That's it.
Yeah. So another interesting thing I thought about was in the beginning of the documentary, they say he's a third generation shaman. Right. So that made me initially feel like, oh, there's more credence to that. Maybe this is some like an ancestral thing, something that stood the test of time and generations. Right. So I'm like, okay, maybe. But then I realized, no, he says he's a new age shaman and, this is a new thing. So I was they never quite connected those dots.
They never went into that.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Because we do hear his family told him to like squash his gifts.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
So he says he ignored Märtha's messages. I don't know if it's Märtha or Märtha. What do you have? Märtha?
I thought Märtha.
Okay, I'm going to say Märtha, guys. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But he says he ignored Märtha's messages. And I'm hard of hearing. So like I can't differentiate the sound. I could read it, but it's spelled the same. So that didn't help me. Yeah. So he says he was in a relationship with the world. And she's like, but were you really single? He's like, well, no, not really. I was friends with benefits. And he agreed to meet her. And he says when he met her, she was wearing a raven shirt, which he says was his spirit animal. And he says, it was like we knew each other already. And when I met her, I saw my past life in Egypt and I was on the throne with her by my side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of visions.
Yeah, it's a lot of visions.
Yeah.
So now we meet Natalia, his niece and manager. And she says, I always thought my uncle was gay, but wow, he has game. I mean, he's able to land a princess. This is pretty good.
I mean, I think he has game too in the like financial business world as well.
I think that's why I comfort people who do this so hard because I easily could have got sucked up into this. 100%. I would have been in Shaman Durek's like living room asking him to exorcise the demons that make me fat or something. Like I would 100% would have been there.
Yeah.
So Shaman Durek says he is not gay. He's not straight. It's about the energy. They like to hang out in LA quite a bit on the party scene because no one really knows her there. So it gives her like cover and she doesn't have to be so prim and proper.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I like what he says now. He says, I love her because she accepts all parts of me. And I have several parts of me. I am a little boy. I am a woman. I am a diva. And she accepts all of this. And I did like that because I do feel like they do love each other. I do feel that.
Yeah.
I really do. Maybe I'm a fool.
No, I feel that too. I feel that they love each other, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not scammy.
Oh, they're scamming.
Yes. Yeah.
So Märtha talks about the difficulties of being a princess, how the press is all over you all the time. And, that they focused such intense scrutiny on her boyfriends through the years. So when Durek agreed to meet her family in Norway, she was like, dude, I don't think you realize what you're in for. He's like, no. I'm used to the press. And I will say the press is very different than the royal press, right? Like being a royal is very different than the paparazzi.
Yeah. And I'm sure like you've looked into the British royal family a lot as well. But just from what I know too, the press almost feel like they have a right to scrutinize you because you're taking some taxes. So,
well, they say that here. One of the reporters says like the people of Norway feel like we own, or maybe he says it feels like they own Märtha because she is. I mean, we saw what happened when Princess Di.
Yeah, I know. So
we
sad.
know. Yeah. R.I.P. So they announced their relationship on Instagram, and he says the minute they got to Norway.
Mhm.
The press chased him and he was overwhelmed. And one of the things he was talking about is how they had people staged across the country, like
Mhm.
waiting for them to show up. Like, that's not something this guy is going to get in LA. Like, maybe
Right.
if
No
you're
way.
Taylor Swift and you're walking down
Yeah.
the street, sure, but
Yeah.
not him.
No, not him. And also they one of the press folks said that it was very unusual for them to just announce their relationship on Instagram as well for that
Yes.
reason, so that like they can maybe have more protection and like facilitate or like try to deal with how the press would handle the
Yeah,
announcement.
there's a way that you roll these things out when you are royals, and they just were
Mhm.
like, YOLO, hey,
Yeah.
Instagram, we're hooking up.
Yeah.
So he says the king and queen just kind of stared at him, and it was kind of funny because he's like, Märtha told me to just be myself, so I wore like a kimono and cowboy boots. Dude,
Yeah.
have you never watched The Crown?
Yeah, exactly. But also, Märtha, why are you telling him to be himself?
Don't
You know?
be yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Be a
So
version of yourself,
he
but
had
like
no
be a
idea
little,
there was a dress code. Like, dude, watch one episode of The Crown.
yeah.
One.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's kind of pissed at her because he's like, I did what Märtha told me. I dressed as myself.
I do have a little bit of sympathy for him, right? Because like just because like what I said earlier of like me and my husband from different cultures, like we
Yeah.
do a little like, hey, so like this is what's gonna happen. This is what I think you should try and do a little
Mm-hmm.
differently or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
we prep each other,
Yes.
So
Yes. But I
yeah.
think there is a universal, I'm going to meet royalty. I
Right.
should probably wear a suit.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
At the very least, yeah.
Like if it was like, we're going to the Queen's, I don't know, harvest festival that we have every year, I could see him being like, I don't know what that is or how to dress for
Mhm.
that or what do I do? But like you're meeting a royal family
Yeah.
and they're a white royal family, a white European royal family. You know what to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. It's very, yeah. Google it,
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says, I did everything wrong. I was not welcomed. And I wrote here, I feel like he feels uncomfortable not being in the spotlight.
Yeah. I think that him being himself, his sort of like eccentric, they even use the word flamboyant in the documentary.
They do.
And being that way is kind of like how he does get that attention. And so I feel when he doesn't do that, he doesn't know how to like be without being that way.
100%. And when you marry a royal, you are not going to have the attention on you. Well, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
that. I shouldn't say it. Let me back up. When you marry a princess, the
Mhm.
attention is going to usually be on the princess. Like I'm thinking about Charles and Diana because that's
Mhm.
the most popular pop culture reference we have. The
Yeah.
attention was always on Princess Di. Like we didn't
Yeah.
care who Charles was really.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the attention is going to be on Märtha because she is so beloved. Like
Right.
they say that a lot of the Norwegian, like they interview press and they're like, we love her. She is,
Yeah.
our princess.
Yeah, this reminds me kind of on a tangent. Chris Rock has this like bit where he talks about why his marriage failed. And he said that like sometimes in marriage, you need to learn how to play tambourine. And when you're on tambourine, you got to play it like you mean it because you're not always going to be the lead singer. And
Yes.
this guy, I feel like, does not know how to play tambourine.
Very good. Very good. I love Chris Rock. Just a side note.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wrote Norway looks absolutely gorgeous. Like I want to
So
go there now.
gorgeous. Yeah.
They're mismatched in their sense of adventure as well. Like Märtha skydives and does shit like that. And he's like, my sense of adventure is I go to the spa. That's what I do.
Mhm.
And I wrote they really do seem to love one another. Like they
Yeah.
seem respectful of each other. So now we
But
learn that. Go ahead.
they also seem really different. Like she seems like what she wants. She's had this very fabulous royal life, and what brings her joy is like the little things and experiences, versus he seems like he really enjoys the finer things in life.
Yeah, and I can see how if you grow up in a box, which is what
Mhm.
princes and princesses do, that
Mhm.
everything is so conscribed. Is that the right word? I don't know what word I'm thinking of.
Controlled?
Prescribed. I don't. Everything
Yeah.
is so tightly controlled. Thank you.
Yeah.
My 3 English degrees are useless, as we all know.
You've done a lot of shows in a row today, right?
Yeah. But if you grow up in such a controlled environment, I could see how it would almost be intoxicating to think outside the box, as far outside the box as you can get. So,
Mhm.
like, I understand her attraction to him, and I think I understand his attraction to her, which is I want to be a royal,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. Amanda.
Amy.
For our sponsor, Lumi Gummies today, I have an idea. I think we should do a rapid fire bonus round. Which 90-day celebrity stars need a Lumi Gummy or have taken a Lumi Gummy, maybe?
Okay. Madeline.
Oh, I have her on my list too. Manon. Manon could really use indica.
Yeah, to calm her the fuck down.
Just calm down a little bit.
I think Jenny could use a sativa to maybe up the energy a little bit, because there's none there.
Funny you mentioned Jenny. I have Sumit's aunt can use one to
definitely
chill out a little bit.
She definitely could use one. This is a wild card. Florian could use one. I don't know what I don't know what variety.
Yeah,
but
maybe
I feel
he
like
needs a hybrid.
I feel like Florian on a gummy would be good.
Yeah. I also have Dylan's mom from Dylan and Patia.
Yeah.
And I have Luke's dad of Luke and Madeline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And we can use Lumi Gummies as well.
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Consistent, mellow, and super delicious, Lumi Gummies are specifically designed to make you feel good, not stoned. Whether you're looking for an end-of-the-day de-stressor, a midday mood boost, or help getting the best sleep ever, Lumi Gummies has a strain that's right for you. So, Amanda, our flavor that we like a lot in this home is the sour strawberry cookie hybrid.
Ooh, is it particularly sour?
It's not super sour because I don't like sour things.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I just find that it's the perfect blend of up and down. It's right in the middle.
Nice.
But you feel good. I really like it.
I'm a hybrid girly myself, and I'm going to go with the watermelon sorbet because I do enjoy watermelon, and it's just a nice, cool, chill evening of watching TV.
You know what I need to do? I need to take one before Sister Wives comes out. Before I meet my arch nemesis in the ring.
Yes. I think it would help you a great deal. I think it would help Cody Brown a great deal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Guys, Lumi Gummies are available nationwide. Go to lumigummies.com. That's LUMI gummies.com. Use code Little Miss Recap for 30% off your order. That is Lumi Gummies, LUMI gummies.com. Code Little Miss Recap. Lumis.com. Code Little Miss Recap. It's 30%. And the link is in the show notes if you guys need it. So Märtha has 3 daughters. Maud is the oldest. She's a really talented artist. Leah is a beauty influencer and a model. And Emma, the youngest, is a horse girl, essentially. She loves her horses.
Yeah.
Durek was the first man that Märtha introduced her girls to after her divorce from their father. And Leah goes, yeah, he was just introduced as like mom's gay friend. And we all really liked him. See, that's another thing. The kids really like him.
Yeah.
And to me, that says that he is a good person, maybe.
Yeah.
Aside from the scamming, I don't know.
Or maybe
goodness
that
in him. There's goodness in him.
That there's goodness in him and that there's some genuineness in their relationship. Like you said, they really do love each other and they probably appreciate that.
Yeah. So she really wanted them. Märtha says, I really wanted my girls to like him as a friend and then be like, hey, guess what? We're dating. And that's what she did to them. So they decide now they're going to get married and he has to go and ask the king and queen for her hand in marriage. And he says, I was in there and it took a lot of convincing, but I got it. And I am fascinated by this because there is no way in hell the British royal family would have given permission for this.
No. I mean, even they had the way that Catherine and Meghan were, like Meghan was when she was there, and Catherine, Kate is, I guess,
Princess. Kate.
Princess Kate.
Queen, not Queen Kate. Yeah, Princess Kate. Oh my God, people are screaming. Yeah.
Like they're just so, like you said, controlled and monochromatic and walking a certain way, this kind of, big character wouldn't fly.
No, I mean, look at the problems they have with Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
And like,
exactly,
she is nothing compared to this guy.
Right.
Oh my God. And then you think about like, they wouldn't let Charles marry Camilla because she was divorced.
Yeah.
Like, no, look at what King Edward had to do. He had to abdicate the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, who was a divorced American. Like, the British family is not going to fucking put up with this shit. The British.
I mean, I just can't, like, divorce is still scandalous in this day and age.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But not the Norwegians. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
So
they seem to have a lot of love within their family unit.
Yes,
too,
yes. And it's a small family and they seem really connected. And he proposes. The ring is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And she wants a private ceremony, but Durek wants the fucking royal wedding he's always dreamed of. Like, okay, dude, calm down. He gets real bridezilla here.
Yeah, which is what made me think, why are you with her? Because if you're with her really for her soul, like you said, then why this need for this wedding, this royal wedding? Why have you ever dreamt of a royal wedding when you're not a royal person?
Thank you. I was hoping you caught that part. Like the royal wedding you always dreamed of?
Yeah.
All right. So they announced this engagement on Instagram again. People are not happy. Shaman Durek says people think because they pay their taxes for the royal family that they own the royal family.
Yeah.
So King Harold is Märtha's father, and he is asked about how Shaman Durek feels. And like, it's just one of those off the cuff, the press has him out somewhere and they're just asking him questions. And he says, well, he thinks he has opposition from the people. And he's like, Norway, that kind of thing. We learned Märtha is fourth in line for the throne. So there's, there would have to be a real disaster for Märtha to be on the throne. So I think there's also a little bit of that, that they know she's not, it's kind of like Harry can kind of marry whomever because Will's getting the throne. So now we get a little bit of background on Shaman Durek. He moved to New York City in his 20s and he was a model, and he is a very good looking guy.
Yeah.
Like he is objectionably very handsome.
Especially when he was younger as well.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful person.
Yeah. So he looks like he could have made a lot of money as a model.
Yes. And he was big into drinking and drugs, and he just loved that freedom. And then he says suddenly he got very, very sick. And his family had like a history of high blood pressure, but he kind of ignored it. And whatever happened caused his kidneys to shut down. And he says, when I was a kid, I had this gift. And his sister says, yeah, he had this gift when we were young. He would talk to the crows. Okay. All right. Now, I have a real problem with this, because if anybody in my orbit talked to birds and brought them closer to me, that would be a problem. I would disown that person.
Yeah, I don't know. Like calling that a gift is pretty. It's a euphemism. I would be terrified as well. Yeah.
Could you imagine like you're outside playing and your brother just conjures up what is a gaggle
hallucination
of crows
or
a group of crows? They're called something funny. I just forget. It's not a group of crows is called a murder.
A murder? Oh my gosh.
A collective noun with origins in old superstition. See? They would murder you, and they're called a murder. They're called a murder for a reason, because they would murder you. All right.
I mean, it's stories like that where I'm like, then you get somebody in the Norwegian press saying he, uses black magic on her. I'm like, well, don't tell that story.
Yeah. Don't be talking about how you're like using the crows for murder.
Yeah.
So he says my father told me when I was young that I needed to bury these gifts, that they were scary for people. But after I had that near-death experience where my kidney failed and my sister had to donate a kidney to me to keep me alive, he's like, I knew that I had to share my gifts with the world and be the shaman to the people. So near-death experience there. We also learned they visited an astrologer and that they're getting married August 31st because Venus is in da 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 da. Again, this is all harmless. You want to visit astrologers and figure out when your best wedding date is? Go knock yourselves up. Go have fun.
Yeah.
He says they're going to get married in Garinger, which is amazing.
Yeah. It was like when they were going through how to get there, I was like, oh, that's not worth it. And then they showed the place. I was like, oh,
and you're like, worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it. Yeah.
So he says that this is a sacred village where the Vikings first landed. And it reminded me of, did you ever watch Vikings, the show? Or there's Vikings, there's Vikings Valhalla too. It's shot in places like this. It's absolutely amazing.
I watched The Last Kingdom like twice over, probably during COVID. Yes.
I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Yes.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
So when in the beginning, guys, if you have not watched The Last Kingdom, you need to. Yeah. Because in like the first or second episode, young Uhtred goes into the water and comes out of the water as older Uhtred. And you're like, oh, I'm having a lot of complicated feelings right now because he's a smoke show when he comes out of that water.
I'm like, do some more work. I want to see you in other stuff. I don't know what he's in. He might be doing work. I don't know.
Very similar to Vikings. The main character is Harold, Haar, like just like this king. Hot. Yes.
Nice. Okay. I have to Vikings watch more episodes. Yeah.
So they are having a huge elaborate wedding and they're having a lot of Americans. So they need to kind of do a here's how you have to act video, like a primer for these Americans coming over.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of flying. Like you said, it's hard to get to. They have to fly to Oslo, then they fly to a smaller town, then they take a boat over to Geringer. So it's like this whole thing. And the Americans are a little annoyed by it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, guys, you're going to a royal wedding.
Like, exactly. Yeah.
So there's a reporter who kind of gives like an outsider's point of view here. And she says, we really respect the monarchy. So she's a part of the Norwegian press. She's like, as Norwegians, like we really respect the monarchy. You have King Harold, you have Queen Sonja, and they have two children, Märtha and Crown Prince Haakon, I think you say?
I think so.
And Haakon will be king. So the Norwegian royal family is very small, and there's only 5 million people in this entire country. So they feel tight and close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they feel like they know the royal family. They don't have a lot of celebrities. The princess is their celebrity.
Yeah. And that's actually really interesting when I think about it in comparison to like California. That's like, I don't even know, maybe just in the Bay, in the Bay Area, there's gotta be more than that. So I don't know how big, how many people there are in Pennsylvania, but this is like smaller than the state, basically.
Yeah. New York City, there's 10 million people.
Yeah.
So Norwegians have a code called Janteloven. I'm going to fuck this up. Shabnam, would you like to read the set of rules that govern how the Norwegian people live their lives?
Yes, I will definitely read it and then we can talk about it because I'm like a little confused, but here goes. You're not to think you are anything special. You're not to think you are as good as we are. You're not to think you are smarter than we are. You're not to imagine yourself better than we are. You're not to think you know more than we do. You're not to think you are more important than we are. You're not to think you are good at anything. You're not to laugh at us. You're not to think anyone cares about you. You're not to think you can teach us anything.
So basically, they're Gen Xers who were raised by boomers. You're not allowed to think you're smart, think you're funny, do anything great. Yeah. It's
no one cares about you and you can't teach us anything. Yeah. It's just,
this
I'm like, okay.
Like the opposite of how Americans raise their children.
Yeah.
Like when you think about how Americans raise their children, it's like, you're the best. You can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
You're so special. It's like the Norwegians are over there saying to their kids, like, you are not fucking special. You are nobody.
Yeah.
You just,
yeah.
It's
you're
wild.
average. Okay.
It's wild.
It's so
and
wild.
It's kind of it taps into this larger thing, I think. And again, I have no experience with Norwegian culture, so I'm just saying what I'm experiencing as I'm watching this. Is it feels like there's a huge sense of community. Like it is an emphasis on we as a collective rather than the individual.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that's right.
So you are supposed to be humble. And Shaman Durek does not like these rules. And he says they're disgusting. And he says, I will not play small for anyone. I have a huge ego. And you know what? Every human being has a right to shine their light as bright as they want to.
Yeah.
Dude, this is where go in there with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like have a little, be a little respectful of their collective culture. I'm sure it's got its downsides just like ours does, but I'm sure it's got its upsides,
Like, for example, I'm not religious. I'm an atheist. I do not believe in the 10 Commandments, but I would not go into a Catholic church and be like, oh, what the hell are these? Like I wouldn't make fun of that. Like respect the culture. This is how they live for hundreds of thousands of years or whatever, however long, millions of years. This is how they have lived. Not millions. I'm not an idiot, but you know what I mean. A long time.
A long time.
A long time like this.
Yeah.
And he's internalizing it, and it's not about you. Like he's taking it like they want to dull my light, and that's not what it is. It's about caring about the greater good before yourself.
Exactly. And it almost is like intolerant the way that he goes about it.
Yeah, I agree. So they talk pretty openly about how the press attacks him and how there is racism in all of these attacks. And there is. There is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like saying, he uses black magic and stuff. It's that it's othering, and it's kind of objectifying, and what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh, Jesus. I can't think of the right word, but it's portraying his culture as mystical in some way, and I don't like that.
Almost like fetishizing or orientalizing.
Yes,
or something.
It's gross. Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah, and then and there was things in there where they said like there was pictures of them, and then they would say like, oh, he'll just end up being her slave, and like very racist, like ugly, gross things.
Yeah.
But and I'm like there's plenty of reasons to make fun of him. You don't have like
right.
Don't go there. That's you.
Yes.
So
yeah, there's a lot of racism. So King Harold is interviewed, and he says there's a culture clash. And I love what Shaman Durek says here, because I do think he has a point where he says, when you are a person of color, you have to learn to talk louder, because white people are trained to listen to other white people. And I thought that was very true. That's very true. Yep.
Yeah.
He does have some good points. And if it kind of stuck to this, where he's talking about the challenges of being a person of color entering this white monarchy, that is interesting. That's the nuggets of this that I thought were interesting.
Right. And that's where he all of a sudden, gets my sympathy, and he gets my ear, and I'm like back on his side, and then something else happens.
Agree.
Yeah.
So Shaman Durek says, only when Harry and Meghan did a sit down with Oprah did the king and queen reach out to me and say, do you feel the same way? So remember that famous interview where Meghan said, I didn't feel welcomed. I felt like my background, my ethnicity was an issue. And, she talked about that.
That was the famous, where we got the famous line, like, were you silent or were you silenced? Right?
Yes, you're right. Oh, Oprah.
Yeah.
So now the king and queen want to meet with him, because he says, yes, I do feel that way. And he goes, people in my family were wondering, are they just trying to get me to not be the next person on Oprah? And I'm like, Shaman Durek, calm down. Oprah's not calling you.
Yeah, I know.
So now the king writes a press release condemning racism. I thought this was great.
Yeah, this was really great. Yeah.
And we learn, Märtha says her parents are very open-minded, and they've always been told, her and her brother, to choose the partners they wanted. And this was partly because the king's father and the whole cabinet was very against Harold marrying a commoner who was Märtha's mother, Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
They waited 9 years. And basically Harold was like, fuck off. It's her or it's nobody. Like, I'm going to give you no heirs, or you're going to let me marry Sonia and bang a couple heirs out. So they wanted their children to marry for love because they married for love. And I thought this was great.
Yeah, this was awesome. And you kind of see where she comes from. And like I said, that love in their family. And that's really awesome.
So then we learned that the crown prince, her brother, married a waitress, and the press went crazy. But they love her now. Like, she's won them over.
Yeah.
More on that later. So now we learn about Ari Ben, and this was Märtha's first husband and is the girl's father. He was a free spirit. He was an artist, a little bit of a rebel. The girls talk about how much they love him. And I just want to give everybody here a quick trigger warning, because we are going to talk about death by suicide. So skip ahead 2-3 minutes if you know that's something you don't want to listen to. So in 2007, Märtha started a spiritual center where they communicate with angels.
He does crows. He does crows and she does angels. You know, everyone has their specialty.
So the press started going after her, and then they also start going after Ari, her husband. And Märtha says this went on for 16 years, but he also had some mental health challenges as well. And there were rumors that he had other women. So they divorced, and then he dies by suicide in 2019 on Christmas.
So sad. I feel so sad for his daughters. That is just really tough.
Guys, the funeral, Maud is 10 years old. No, 16. Her youngest was 10. Maud was 16. Maud gives a eulogy at her father's funeral. It is so hard to watch.
So sad. And it was just so courageous of her to do that. And you know, even her mom says she did a great job, but it was just really heartbreaking.
Yeah. But this is where where Shaman Durek wins me over again, because he supports the whole family through this.
Yeah.
He takes them to Hawaii to get their minds off things. He said they had a great trip, and Durek calls the girls his bonus daughters. Like, he's very tight with them.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, kids have a good bullshit meter in them. Like, they know if somebody's not authentic, and they like this guy. And you're right. It could be, they could be sensing the relationship between him and Märtha.
Yeah.
And liking him for that.
I think there's like some genuine like love and connection between him and Märtha and him and the daughters. But then there's just a lot of, they also seem, like I said, they seem like they're on different pages as far as what's important to them in certain aspects of life. And then he's just got a very scammy nature. And I think her probably a lot less so.
Oh, you just wait until I get to some news on him later.
Yeah.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So Märtha gets home chef, like all of us. She's a lady of a certain age. She's working, trying to run her household, and we see her getting a meal delivery kit. I don't know if it's home chef, but she's getting something because Durek can't cook anymore, because we learned that his kidney is failing, the one he got from his sister. So he is on the list now for a kidney donor. They need a living donor. And I wrote, he is a healer. Can he heal himself? And he actually addressed it. Like, the thought went through my mind. And then he says, you know, I should be able to heal myself, but I am a wounded healer and I cannot heal my own kidney. Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't inspire confidence for me, but I don't know. Other people maybe.
Shabnam, then we see him like he's on the verge of a heart attack and he's exercising. Should he be doing that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he should be doing a lot of things, but I don't know.
True. We get some talk about the wedding, and this is where he gets a little bridezilla, and he's like, I need the wedding to be perfect. And he's like, I am the fashion police. I want to approve every outfit for that wedding. Fashion is so important to me. I wish I could patrol the world, because there are people who should not be leaving the house dressed as they are. And I'm like, this guy would hate my guts.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This is where he just completely loses me. And she makes a comment to him like, that's going to be a lot of work for you. And he's like, I don't care. This is important. I'm like, really? Is it? It's so important what every single guest wears. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this.
Me either. Yeah. So Durek is now being investigated by the press. They're starting to dig into him because he's marrying into this family. And they dig up all of his social media and podcast appearances, including one in which he says he is half reptilian. You heard me. Half reptilian.
Yeah.
He talks on one podcast about their sex life. You don't do that with the princess, dude. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's where I'm just like, why are you such like a wrecking ball for her culture? You know, like let her, you know, kind of go along a smidge, right? You don't need to do that, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Now we see his scamming. And he's like, this is a witch hunt. Well, it's not a witch hunt if you don't have anything to find. But he is scamming and he's selling medallions to cure COVID-19 for $225.
Yeah, see, that's where that's the exploitation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like, this is crazy.
I agree. He does sessions with people and they have to sign an NDA. Pro tip. If you're going for like a massage or a healing session or something, and they're asking you sign an NDA, you need to think twice about it.
Yeah.
As a lawyer, would that not raise a red flag to you?
Yes, because like, for example, something like therapy, you get to bind the therapist from not disclosing.
Yes.
It's weird that this is going the other direction.
Yes.
You
like
know?
I could see a waiver, right?
Yeah.
A waiver is totally appropriate. Like if, you know, like I don't know what he's doing in these sessions, but let's say he's doing a spiritual reading. And let's say that, I don't know, he causes you some emotional distress. Maybe that's in a waiver. Right? Like, whatever emotional distress results from this reading, I'm not responsible for. You've been warned about it. You've been whatever.
Yeah.
But an NDA is very different.
Very weird. Yeah. That you can't disclose things about your own session. That's weird. Yeah.
So even though his clients that he probably crossed lines with can't talk, this idiot tells on himself. And there is leaked audio of him talking about sucking a client's dick, which if you are in a provider-providee relationship, that is a gross overstatement. I don't even know. A gross.
Yeah.
Help me. I can't even think of the word.
It's a violation. It's a violation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the code that you would expect to be adhered to.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah. It's and then just the, you know, the whole backlash on the royals. And do we even know, she never really addressed it, right?
No, she never really addressed it. What she did do though, is she said she saw parallels between how the press were treating her ex and Shaman Durek. So she decides she's going to do the classic Harry move and steps away from being a royal.
Yeah.
She quits the royal family. And now Norway's like, okay, well, if you're not a royal, we're not paying for this wedding because you're not a royal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they do what any, you know, down on your luck couple is going to do. And they sell their wedding rights exclusively to the British magazine Hello and to Netflix.
Yeah.
Leading up to the wedding, we see the Americans coming over on the boats and they're wild. They're like screaming. One guy's up there like, yeah, we fucking made it. And everybody, and the king and queen are watching this like, okay.
Yeah, they do weddings differently in Norway, apparently.
The wedding happens and they have privacy tents all over the place to block out everyone but Netflix and Hello Magazine. And the press are furious.
Yeah.
They're furious.
Yeah.
Like the royal press, they're furious.
This almost seems like an FU to the like royal family for saying that they're not paying for it. This is like, okay, well then you don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it.
Yeah.
We end with their wedding and Durek saying, this is who we are. And if you don't like it, bye. Bye, boo. Peace out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I asked you not to look at the following links.
And I didn't.
Because I wanted your reaction on air.
Okay.
Okay. So I did some digging into some of the scandals that you know have happened here. And I pulled up a little bit of list. The first thing you need to know is that Shaman Durek, in his book, which I mentioned, what was the name of the book? Ooh, let me go up top. Hold on. The name of the
Spirit Hacking?
Thank you. Spirit Hacking. Spirit Hacking has been pulled from a lot of publishers because in that he said kids get cancer because they want it.
Oh, I didn't know they wanted cancer.
Yep. Children get cancer because they're not happy, they're not positive, and they attract cancer to them.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. So here are some scandals around. I know.
I'm just like so speechless. Like and who made him a doctor? Like just stay away from the medical stuff, just don't go there.
So Märtha Louise, here are some of the reasons this Redditor laid out. This Redditor who wrote this thread is Norwegian, and they were like, here's the reasons and the problems we have with these two. Okay. So this is not like a reporter writing this. This is a Norwegian citizen. So there may be some things wrong. I'm not sure. Speaking to and communicating with angels. We saw this. Apparently she founded an angel school where they don't talk to the dead because there's no point. Okay.
Okay. So they talk to only angels, but not the dead?
I guess. A rumor going around, this has not been confirmed, but a rumor going around is that there was overlap between her divorce and Shaman Durek. Now, I don't believe that. I think she divorced that guy and then started dating him, but whatever. One of the real problems the Norwegian people have with her is that she uses her title of princess commercially, especially after leaving the royal family. And I guess as part of her leaving the royal family, she made some kind of agreement or promise that she would not use her title commercially. And she's been doing nothing but, including making a documentary and selling the rights to her wedding to Netflix and Hello Magazine. Okay, so that's the issues they have with her.
Yeah.
With him, he identifies as a reptilian. Also identifies as a reincarnated pharaoh from Egypt. He is a top 20 famous conspiracy theory. He's actually on a list for that. Claims that children get cancer because they want it. Claims chemotherapy is ineffective and a financial scam. Okay, now I just want to draw everyone's attention to the fact that this man sold medallions that cured COVID for $225.
Right. Because that's better, apparently, in his mind.
Claims that casual sex attracts subterranean spirits that leave an imprint in women's vaginas.
This reminds me of Garrick
Merrifield. There we go.
It's Garrick
Sperm in the brain.
Merrifield. Yeah.
He sells exercises to, quote, clean out those spirit vaginas, as well as healing medallions for COVID. Claims that 5G is a conspiracy to enslave the earth. He says he knew about the 9/11 attacks 2 years in advance, but didn't warn anyone.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
He allegedly reported his first wife to immigration, causing her to be jailed and deported.
Wow.
There's not a good breakup with his former partner, Hank Greenberg. Hank Greenberg has alleged that Shaman Durek was violent, manipulative. This I did corroborate. This is true. He did serve time in prison, but we don't know why. Nobody can figure it out.
So I was doing some digging on that, and it seems that when he was in his 20s in New York, he tried to throw a party at some property, and he trespassed, and then it got burnt down somehow. So I believe this could probably be related to that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
He collaborated on businesses related to alternative therapies. That's the least of his offensive shit, I think. He and then he accused the Norwegian royals of not knowing what racism was. I'm not getting into that. If he is a person of color and he felt he was people were being racist, I'm not as a white woman, I'm not comfortable saying that was not his experience. I believe that was his experience.
Right. And I feel like not all things on this list are created equal. I mean,
Correct.
like the medallion is just in a different, and the kids wanting cancer. I mean, we can't really compare that to this bullet point. Yeah.
So I really wanted to look into, I had seen somewhere that people were talking about Marius, Marius, who is the stepson. Okay, so remember I told you that Hakon, the crown prince, married this waitress woman? Her son is now his stepson.
And he's very
he is
cute.
Not a good fucking dude, though.
Oh, okay. You know what? I was going to say he's good looking, but he does look like Joffrey a little bit from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was charged in August 2025 with 32 criminal counts, including rape and domestic violence.
Yikes.
His trial is scheduled to take place in February of 2026. So the trial has not happened yet. So that is what is going on there. He is not part of the Norwegian royal family, does not serve a public role. He's constitutionally barred from becoming king of Norway. And yeah, not a good dude. Really bad to women, really problematic. So that's happening as well. Just want to, because I'm like, wait a minute. Somebody mentioned that the stepson of the crown prince was a rapist, and I had to look it up. And yeah.
But what about his mother? Does she seem, did you get to like look into that at all?
She seems okay. She was a recovering drug addict. Okay. She was an addict in her past, but she seems fine now. Like she seems okay. I didn't really find that they have a problem with her now. Norwegian royal family.
I just wonder if these two royal children, Märtha and Håkon, are like, right. Like I just, a thought went through my mind. Like, could they be ripe for being taken advantage of? And so I don't know. But if the wife of Håkon seems nice, then we shall see with Durek. And
so here is her backstory a little bit. By her own admission, her name is Märtha Marit. She experienced a rebellious phase before she met the crown prince, and she was known by the nickname, I can't pronounce this at all. Okay. But she was considered a bit of a party girl, and she had a series of relationships with men in Oslo's drug scene. During the 90s, she was in a relationship with John Ogneby, a man convicted of drug-related offenses. And yeah, that's about it. She has this kid. His father's Martin Borg, who's a convicted felon. So she had a rough upbringing, but I think that everything is okay now.
Yeah. His charges, I see, is drug possession. I'm talking about her son. Drug possession, violence, assault, battery, threats, rape, etc. Those are violent, it's a lot different than drug possession and drug use, right? So
yeah. I will really say bad. That the specter of Jeffrey Epstein looms large, and he has gone over to Norway, I guess, and has talked to Märtha Marit, because she had a relationship with him, and there was a little controversy around that. She met with Jeffrey Epstein several times between 2011 and 2013. After his conviction on charges of sex trafficking of minors in 2008. So
he managed to get around a lot with a lot of charges.
Yeah. She is a Goodwill ambassador. She does a lot for the empowerment of youth in the AIDS response. So she does a lot of good work now. And, there's no reason to think she has not turned her life around, except for that tiny Epstein connection.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the story. I thought the documentary was like, I thought it was okay, but then I realized how one-sided it is.
Yeah, that was a little surprising when you mentioned that when we started, because I hadn't known that till now, and I didn't think he came off that well. So I'm like, wow, if that was the best they could do, this must be way worse.
Yeah. All right. We've said it all. Why don't you tell everyone what you're doing over on Chai After Dark? What are you doing over there?
So we have decided to just take a little gander into what we call Pakistani dramas, which are kind of like telenovelas, and so they deal with a lot of like social, cultural issues, and so we're doing that. We're having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, that's fun. So it's like melodrama.
Yeah, it's like melodrama. Yeah, like a soap opera, like kind of like the soap opera, their version of a soap opera.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we have our episodes come out on Tuesdays, and we're enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you can find Chai After Dark on Instagram and anywhere you listen to podcasts. And
yes,
I'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right, Shabnam, always great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so fun.
Thank you for listening to me flub up all those Norwegian names, and I can't even talk today. But
no, we got through it. It was a wild ride. Yeah,
this was a
wild documentary. So yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. If you want to support the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. It really does help everybody find us when they're looking for content to listen to. So if you could do that, that would be great. And thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.